So I've been into a bit of an instant ramen episode lately. Now it's Sunday, it's been pissing down outside all morning, and I've been to a birthday party last night. So what I'm trying to say is all the conditions are right to make something that I've been wanting to try out for a while. Mac and cheese, instant ramen. Or ram and cheese? The noodles that I'm using are black Shin ramen. I've recently discovered these. They're a bit on the expensive side, but you do get a better product. What you get inside are the noodles, obviously. These are nice and thicker than your average instant noodle, and you get more of them in one serving. You get 2 different seasoning packs. I'm not sure what the difference is. I think one of them is milder and the other one is spicier. And a bag of dried flakes. I think there's mushrooms, spring onions, and I don't know what else. I'm not gonna use that, but I am gonna use both of the seasoning packs. Now let's make the cheese sauce. I'm gonna use some mild red cheddar and some aged cheddar. You can also use Gruyere, Comté, whatever you have. But whatever you do, please have some self-respect and grate it yourself. And I am gonna keep saying this every time I'm grating cheese. Alright, so I'm gonna cut about a 1-inch square stick of each. Something like that. And then I'm gonna finally grate them into a bowl. Alright, that's our little cheese pile done. Now let's move over to the stove. On the stove, I've got one pan where I'm gonna make my cheese sauce, and I've got another one in which I'm heating up some water for the ramen. For the cheese sauce, we're gonna start by making a roux, and that consists of flour, fat, and some sort of water-based liquid. In this case, milk. I'm gonna use again about an inch cube of butter. Butter goes in first. I'm gonna use about a small teaspoon of flour. Normally I would use a whisk for this, but the quantities are so small that I think everything is just gonna get stuck into the whisk. So I'm just gonna do it with a spoon. And I'm gonna mix the flour and the butter really well into a paste and let that raw flour cook off for about a minute. To that, I'm gonna add both of my seasoning packets. I'm gonna stir them in. I'm also gonna throw in my ramen into the water. Ow, that was hot. Alright, I'm using, I don't know, about an inch again of water. We really like inches today. And I'm gonna let that cook for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish my cheese sauce. So I'm gonna slowly start adding cold milk. It's important that it's cold, that way you're not gonna get any lumps. And you start adding a little bit at a time. So you create kind of a thick paste to begin with, which you're gonna slowly start thinning out. Just go a little splash at a time, don't rush this. Make sure you get all of that seasoning off at the bottom of the pan. I think this is as thick as I want this to go. So I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna add my cheese in. And I'm gonna kind of fold that in. Keep stirring that in until you get a nice, smooth, thick, cheesy sauce. Now let's check on our ramen. Should be done. And I'm gonna take that out. And I'm not worried about carrying over some of the liquid. That's actually a good thing. I'm gonna switch to my chopsticks and give this a nice mix. In fact, I'm gonna give it a little splash of liquid more. Now, would you look at that? And I'm just gonna transfer them into the bowl. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of sesame oil and some crispy onions just for the texture. Let's dig in. This is insane. The levels of umami in this are just off the charts. It's one of those things that feels super wrong but super right at the same time. But hey, that's a little treat. You don't need this every day. You don't need this every week or every month. So when you do have it, enjoy it. I'm just gonna take this with me and go watch some TV. Roll out.